Imagine you spent your entire life chained in a cave facing a blank wall. Shadows flicker across it. You believe those shadows are reality. You've never seen anything else. Plato thought this describes you right now, and everything he built follows from taking that claim seriously. Plato had already divided reality into two realms: the world of the senses, changing, flawed, unreliable, and the world of forms, eternal perfect essences that the senses can only imperfectly reflect. A form is the ideal blueprint, triangle itself, justice itself. His divided line split this into four ascending levels of clarity. The cave dramatizes that abstract structure. Shadows on the wall match the lowest level, mere images. The objects cast in them match ordinary belief. The world outside the cave is the realm of forms, and the sun is something higher still. Look at the prisoner's condition carefully. They don't just lack information, they inhabit a lesser grade of reality. The shadows they name, debate, and predict are two steps removed from what is actually real. This is an ontological claim, a claim about what exists, not just what we know. For Plato, every non-philosopher lives here. The objects you touch, the faces you love, the city you walk through, all shadows. Somewhere behind you, a fire burns. Somewhere further still, a cave mouth opens upward into light you've never seen. One prisoner breaks free, someone drags him up, painfully, slowly, through dialectic, meaning reasoned philosophical conversation that strips away assumption after assumption. He turns and sees the fire, and it blinds him. He's forced up the rough path toward the cave mouth. Outside, the light overwhelms his eyes. First, he can only bear shadows on the ground, then reflections in water, then real objects. Only last and only briefly can he lift his gaze toward the sun itself. The ascent is the work of a lifetime. The sun is the form of the good. Plato's claim here is radical. The sun doesn't just let you see things outside the cave, it makes those things exist and grow. In the same way, the form of the good generates both being and intelligibility. It's the source that lets the other forms be what they are and lets the mind grasp them at all. This isn't goodness as a moral concept. It's closer to a cosmic principle, the ground of reality itself. Every other form draws its existence and its knowability from this one blazing source. When Glaucon presses Socrates to define the good directly, Socrates refuses. Language cannot deliver you there. Dialectic can bring you near, asymptotically close, approaching without ever reaching, but the final step must be taken alone, in silence, in a kind of vision. This is the essence of God drained of personality. No throne, no commandments, no name, just an impersonal source of all being, approachable only by the disciplined mind. Plato has invented something new, a divinity that cannot be spoken, only gestured toward. Now the hardest part. The philosopher, having seen, returns to the cave. Why bring this knowledge back at all? Because others remain chained, but his eyes, adjusted to the sun, can no longer make out the shadows. He stumbles in the darkness. The prisoners watch him fumble and laugh. This man, they say, went up and came back ruined. Better to stay here with us. They would kill anyone who tried to free them. The one who grasps reality most fully appears to everyone else to be the biggest fool in the room. Here's what most readers miss. Plato isn't just doing philosophy, he's founding a reformed religion. The Greeks worshipped Homer's gods, Zeus the serial adulterer, Ares the bloodthirsty berserker, gods who lied, raped, and took petty revenge. Plato found them morally unworthy of worship. His solution was surgical. Take the virtue these gods embodied and strip away the vice. Don't worship Ares, god of war. Worship bravery itself, the pure form, untainted by cruelty or rage. Don't pray to capricious Zeus. Contemplate justice itself. The old pantheon is replaced by a luminous hierarchy of perfect abstractions, crowned by the form of the good. This is not metaphor. It's a deliberate theological reform. This move reshapes Western thought for 2,000 years. Neoplatonists will identify the one with God. Early Christian theologians will read the form of the good into the opening of John's Gospel. Augustine will fuse Platonic ascent with Christian conversion. Medieval mystics will describe approaching God in exactly Plato's terms, beyond words, beyond images, known only by a silent seeing. Every time someone says the divine is ineffable, that earthly beauty points toward a higher beauty, that truth itself is sacred. They're speaking in shadows cast by Plato's sun. The cave is not a cube metaphor, it's a foundation stone. Plato claims that behind every shadow lies a truer object, and behind every object, a perfect form, and behind the forms, a single blazing source that makes them all possible. Look up, he says. The sun is there. You have only to turn around.